Hi guys, happy new year. It is 2023 and I really cannot believe it. I just feel like there is so much to recap about 2022 and I have so many goals and things that I want to do in 2023. I thought it would be fun to just chat with you guys and kind of just recap the year and talk about what next year is going to look like. I saw my friend JC do a really similar video to this and she inspired me, and she was just sitting in her car chatting and I was like, that is cozy and that is what I need to do because I love filming in my car. I just feel like it's distraction free, it's a little more casual, and I actually just did something that I've never done before, but I went to the gym this morning and I brought all my stuff to get ready at the gym, and I showered and I did my hair and makeup. And that was really, really nice. I might start doing that more often because I knew I wanted to film this video, so I didn't want to go to the gym, go home, you know, all the things. So I got ready at the gym. I got my protein shake. Before we get into the video, I want to say thank you to Ritual for sponsoring today's video. You guys know I love Ritual. They have been the vitamins that I take for years now. I'm currently taking the Essential for Women multivitamins. I've taken their prenatals and I also took their postnatals. And then once we start trying to get pregnant, I will definitely start taking their prenatals again. A big part of 2022 for me was kind of taking control of my health and just wanting to feel like the best version of myself, and just consciously taking those small moments as a mom to myself to make myself feel better and healthier. So my supplements are definitely a big part of that. I love that Ritual's ingredients are all traceable. They are vegan, cruelty-free, gluten-free, and they are also formulated to fill any nutritional gaps in your diet. I actually just took these this morning after the gym, but oh cool. Just dropped a whole bottle. Okay, but here is what they look like. I absolutely love them, and they're actually running a limited time offer of 30% off of your first month. You just have to use my code KristenJ-30 and that will be applied at checkout, which I think is a great deal, especially if you're just looking to, you know, start off the year right, taking your supplements, getting all your vitamins and minerals in. I will leave all of that information down in the description box. We actually just got back home from Austin. We were in Austin visiting Stevie and Cezanne, and Lexi and Cody were there, John was there, and it was just such a nice way to bring in the new year just with some of my favorite people. And I consciously took the last few days of the year and the first few days of the year to kind of just unplug and really reflect on 2022, because I feel like it was such a big year, such a monumental year, just like emotionally for me. I feel like when I think of 2022, I just think of James and how he just went from such a little goo-goo baby to like a real child now that can communicate and we can play games, and he has his own personality. And I just feel like from the beginning of the year to now has been like such a huge leap in him just growing up. And now he's 1.5, he's gonna be 1.5 in a few weeks, and I feel like this year was a lot of me figuring out how to balance motherhood with work and my own personal life and being a wife. And that was something that I remember really struggling with at the end of 2021. I was like, I call it the trenches. I was really in the trenches of motherhood those first 6 months. It was really, really hard for me. But then I feel like from 6 months on, I really started to get the hang of it, and I feel like I finally was able to surrender this year, which that was kind of, as I reflected upon 2022, surrender was kind of the word that kept jumping out at me, because there was a lot of things this year that I just had to fully let go of and just put it in God's hands. And not to say that it was like an easy surrender by any means. There was a lot of things that I was grasping onto so tightly that I just like did not want to let go control of. And this year I feel like God was just like, surrender, surrender. It's time for you to let that go. It's time for you to let that go. Social media was one of those things that I finally feel like I surrendered to God, and I feel so much more at peace just about my job. For so many years, I just put so much pressure on myself, and I found so much of my joy and my worth in how successful I felt like I was on social media. And like if a video would perform well, or if a post would do good, or like what brands were coming in to work with me, like that's where I was finding a lot of my validation. And on the downside of that, I would feel really sad when I felt like I wasn't succeeding, and then I would feel really, really happy when I felt like I was succeeding. So I feel like this year was the first time since I started social media when I was 19 years old that I just have come to a place where it's like I feel totally at peace with what I post on social media, when I post. I used to be so hard on myself. If I missed a week of uploading on YouTube, like it was unheard of. Like which is good. Consistency is obviously good, but it's like, come on, you gotta give yourself some grace. And now it's like, if I can't get a video posted that week, it's not like I'm just gonna be so hard on myself. It's like I've learned to give myself grace. Life happens. I'm a mom now, so that is my number one priority. Everybody has a place in their life where they draw a little bit too much validation from, whether that is a relationship or a friendship or their appearance or their job, whatever it might be. And I feel like for a long time that was, for me, it was my job, which is social media, and that felt really good to kind of just like let that go this year. And also just finding the happy medium of posting James. And I don't know if y'all remember, but right after I had him, I was like very stressed on what that was gonna look like for me. I feel like I found a perfect balance with that, and that all just feels very, very good. And a place this year that I found very difficult to surrender has been my whole house situation. And I talked about this a little bit in a previous video, but basically our house is totally on pause right now. We actually just recently heard some really good news. We're meeting with a new contractor next week, but this year kind of finding out that the house, what we had done to it was not like up to code, and a lot of it had to be redone. It was just like soul crushing because we'd had already spent so much money and so much time, and it just felt like so much had been wasted. But it was another one of those things where God really, really called Marcus and I to surrender the situation to him, and we know that it's going to be done in his time. It's still so frustrating, and it's not ideal for like what we selfishly wanted, but I do finally feel like I'm at the point where I can say like I have surrendered that situation to God. If I have any new updates with the house soon, I will let you guys know. Hopefully good things are happening, but you know, no promises. But my hope still is maybe one day in 2023 we will move into our house, and that will be it's like a day that I can't even fathom because it's been so long at this point. Like, I can't believe I will be living in that house one day because it just feels so impossible. But, you know, I think it's going to happen. I really think that this year will be the year that we will live in our own home, and that will be really, really special. And for 2023, oh my gosh, I'm not a resolutions type person, to be honest. Like, I find resolutions pretty overwhelming. Me and Marcus were just talking about, okay, what is our thing for 2023? And I think our thing, both of us, is projects that we've been working on for a very long time coming to completion. There's a There's a project I've been working on since I got pregnant with James that I just finished completely, and now it's just like in the mode of like it's in another person's hands and they're finishing it. So sorry, that's very obscure, but this was a project that took up so much of my creative energy, especially in 2022. And that project's gonna come to completion, and hopefully you guys will see that. And then the house, like I said, hopefully will come to completion. Kristen made, I wanted to talk to you guys about that too. We had a huge site-wide sale and we pretty much sold through everything, and that was because I want to start fresh. Like I said, hiring a whole new team. Not to say that I didn't love the team that I worked with before on Kristen Made, but I just felt like our goals and ideas for the future didn't really line up, and I just feel like I never want to be doing something that I'm not 100% excited about. And the only reason that Kristen Made even oh cool, my car's about to turn off. And the only reason that Kristen Made even kind of took a pause was because when we moved to Tennessee and I was pregnant, I literally did not have the energy to pour into Kristen Made like I wanted to. So we kind of took a break, came back with a few products, but during that break, I kind of had a new vision for Kristen Made. This year, my goal is to kind of, again, like finalize that, like exactly my vision for Kristen Made. I kind of want to narrow in a little bit because it was, you know, apparel, home things, plant things, hair scarves, accessories, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like I kind of want to just focus kind of in one lane because it was a lot to make custom items from all different categories. So that's kind of my thoughts moving forward. Let me know if there's like something really specific that you guys would love to see from Kristen Made. I also loved that me and Marcus and James traveled so much this year. We did our Europe trip. We went to California. We went to Florida a bunch. We went, where else did we go? I feel like we went somewhere else. Probably forgetting a few places, but I feel like we just really were like, we sent it, and we were like, even though it is so hard to travel with a toddler, we just did it. And I'm so glad that we did because we made some of the best memories. And then I was also getting questions about if we are thinking of baby number 2 in 2023. I'll be completely honest with you guys. When we were on our Europe trip, I don't know what came over me, but I was like, I think I'm ready for baby number 2. And so me and Marcus were like, okay, we can like start seeing what happens. But then we heard the news about our house and like how horrible the situation was, and I was like, no, I am not ready for baby number 2. I told Marcus, I was like, I'm not gonna try for baby number 2 until we are in our house, settled and cozy. And I was like, and that's that. And he was kind of sad because he was really excited to possibly try for baby number 2. So then I said, well, maybe we can start trying when James turns 2, which would be in July 2023. I don't know though, guys. I switch my mindset a lot when it comes to having another baby because right now I genuinely love it being just James, and I just feel like we're finally getting into the groove of parenthood and having a toddler. I just had a horrible stomach bug when I was in Austin. I was like very, very nauseous, and I just was reminded of how awful it is feeling nauseous every day. I was nauseous pretty much every day through my first trimester with James, and dang, pregnancy is hard. And also, I mean, we were moving across the country, packing up our house, you know, all that stuff while I was pregnant. So I feel like this pregnancy will be more peaceful, but I would love to be settled in my home and not like packing up or like doing any construction or anything like that with our next baby. That would be ideal. And then I guess just like my one like physical goal of this year is I really want to read through the whole Bible with Marcus. So I just ordered it's like a little devotional, but not really devotional. It kind of just helps guide you through reading the Bible from start to finish, because I've never done that, and I've done I've tried many times basically. So I got this book. I didn't have anyone recommend it to me, but I just found it. It's called 52 Weeks in the Word, and me and Marcus are gonna do it together. So that's like my one goal of the year that like I guess you'll like be able to really physically see or do. I was also talking to one of my friends, and she was just telling me how she feels a really big pull to kind of like step back from social media. She does social media as her job full time, but she was just saying like how she feels God calling her to kind of like stop her YouTube channel and like kind of just take a pause on all of that. And I just, sometimes when people tell me like what God is calling them to do, I'm like, wait, is God calling me to do that too? Which is really silly. But I was just praying about it, and I was just like very clearly feel like I am not called to step back from social media. And I feel like social media and YouTube especially is like my biggest calling in life, which is sounds crazy, but I don't feel like stepping away from YouTube or like taking a back seat or anything like that is what I am going to be doing this year. Like, if anything, I want to be posting more consistently here on YouTube, and yeah, so I'm really excited about that. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be 80 years old making Kristen's kitchen videos, making my sourdough bread. We can all be, you know, in our rocking chairs, enjoying each other's company, okay? Because I am not going anywhere. I think that's everything that I wanted to chat about today, but I would love to hear some of y'all's favorite parts of your 2022, maybe some of your hopes for 2023. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.